What's good? Brian Maxwell checking out here at Matt Bowers Nissan in Daphne, Alabama. Real quick, what we're going to talk about is I got emails on people that say, Brian, what is it that I do once I get my customer down to the point where we're getting ready to do the agreement and then things just fall apart? Or while I'm talking with them, it seems like we're building rapport, but at the same time, it's hard for me to get them to authorize this agreement and drive this vehicle home. And here's the reason. When it comes to communication, okay, body language and tonality account for 90% of our communication, meaning the way that you look, the clothes that you wear, the way that you're groomed, and also the level of voice inflection that you use. So let's think about it for a second. We only get one chance to make a first impression, one. And from the moment that guest gets out of the car or you walk out that door to go greet them, or if they're on your showroom and you're approaching them, they're sizing you up first visually. And that's coming from an emotional standpoint. So they're gonna make a judgment call on you emotionally immediately. Meaning, do you look like you can afford the vehicles that you're promoting? Are you groomed up? Do it look like you just woke up and rolled out of bed? Or do you look like somebody that hate what you do, and or you look like somebody that love what you do and take pride in being able to help people? That's number one. A lot of salespeople walk around, they don't care how they look, their clothes aren't creased, pants don't look right, face isn't groomed, and then they wonder why this person has such a negative perception, because they're judging you first from an emotional level when they use their visual to look at you. Then the next is, how do you sound? Your voice inflection. Do you sound enthusiastic and confident, or do you sound like you hate what you're doing, or like somebody pissed in your cereal that morning? That's number two. So from when you're working with somebody face to face as opposed to over the phone, they're sizing you up first off the way that you look, then off the way that you sound. And all of that is coming from an emotional standpoint. Next, though, it is the actual words that we use that help them come to a logical decision, okay? So people make decisions based off two things. One is from an emotional standpoint. B is from a logical standpoint. Now, please understand, we make decisions based off 90% emotion. We back it up with 10% logic. Now, knowing that we make decisions based off 90% emotion, it will behoove you to make sure that your clothes, and it doesn't matter if you wear the same shirt and pants every day, as long as they're clean and they're ironed and you look like somebody that has some pride in your appearance, then that'll work. Customer doesn't know, they just met you. Are you shaved up and are you groomed up? Those things are important off the back to help them to develop that emotional type of sense of certainty. And then knowing that only 10% of the words that we use have an impact, this is what communicates to them on a logical standpoint. So knowing that we make decisions based on 90% emotion and we back it up with 10% logic, it will behoove you to learn how to communicate with people on both levels, where you can communicate to their emotional state, or should we say subconscious, and then to their logical state, or which should we say conscious mind. Now, how do we do that? We already talked about the emotional state is how you look, the clothes that you wear, are you groomed, and it's the tonality that you use. It's like if I said, man, shut up, boy, you crazy. If I was like, man, shut up, you are crazy. Or if I said, man, shut up, you crazy. Now, I just said the same exact things, but I adjusted to tonality, and they would have three different meanings. It's like when you were younger and your mother said, it's not what you say, but how you say it makes a big deal. This is why sometimes when you're engaged with a customer and you say the same thing over and over again, somebody else can walk in the room and say the exact same thing and just adjust the tonality, or maybe have a different appearance and seem like they're coming from somebody that you can trust in, that has confidence. They give off the aura that they can actually help this person. They can say the same exact thing and it goes over and they get it. Okay, so how do we communicate to somebody on an emotional level and on a logical level? Like I said, your appearance, the level of tonality. When you have some exciting news, are you taking your voice inflection up to another level without being over the top? Or when you're talking passionately to them, where it seems like you got all of this energy and it's just bottled up, waiting to come through, and you're just speaking to them from the bottom of your heart? Or are you coming at them where you're really letting them know something that could truly help them out and avoid any of the pain and any of the issues that could arise or that they've been going through, and how this can help them solve that problem? So you're kind of lowering your tone to come from a place of pure passion to help these people. You see, it's the tonality. Now, the logical aspect, this is where the words that you use play a big part. And this is where a lot of salespeople drop the ball. They do a great job establishing that emotional connection. But then the logical, they drop the ball by saying something out of whack, by not saying things that are empowering, encouraging, confidence building for this guest. So remember, when you're communicating with your customers, you communicate from two levels. One is on an emotional level. That's to their subconscious mind. The other one is on an emotional level. Is on the logical level. That's their conscious mind. People make buying decisions based off 90% emotion and back it up with 10% logic. And through communication, 90% of our communication is body language and tonality, and less than 10% is the actual words that we speak. So that means how you look and you sound has more of an impact than the words that you say. Even though the words that you say, if they don't match up, they will disqualify you immediately. So this is why having word tracks is so important. A lot of people say that they dislike scripts, but the only reason it sounds scripted is because the individual doesn't know it. The only reason they sound robotic is because they haven't mastered it. It's like a movie. Whatever your favorite movie is, the reason why you like it because it made you laugh, made you cry, made you happy, made you sad, made you suspenseful. But guess what every actor got before they started that movie? They received a script. Now, the reason why the movie touched you so much is because they memorized the script, they internalized it, and when they projected it, they personalized it. And that's what the art of sales is about. You know, when I was dealing with customers, even now when I deal with high-level executives, I'm not just coming from a point of winging it. I've just done it so many times that the word tracks that I use are so well memorized and so internalized, I'm able to project them and make them personalized and make them mine. And this is what you have to do when you're dealing with customers. So remember, people make decisions, buying decisions based off 90% emotion and back it up with 10% logic. What that means is that your body language and your tonality has more of an impact than the words that you say, even though the words that you say is that tool that ties it all together and brings that level of certainty to a 10. Because your objective is to move your guests from a 0 to a 10. 10 being the highest level of certainty. And how do you do that? By leveraging your body language, your tonality, and the words that we speak. So I'm gonna be coming at you again a little bit later today when I get a break, because I'm out here training, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the whiteboard and really break down the 2 levels of communication. And you will find that this will take even the person with no experience, barely any sales skills, and will turn them into someone who is closing far better than anybody else on their team if they follow the methodology. Okay? And in the meantime, if you are somebody that's looking for the right words to say, or how to perform better, how to take your customer straight down the line from the moment you greet them to the moment that you helping them program their phone in to the moment they're driving the vehicle home. If you're looking for somebody to be able to make people more comfortable buying that vehicle at a little bit of a higher price, why? Because you deserve it, because you did such a good job. You'll be compensated accordingly. If you're looking for a way to drive more social media leads, if you're looking for a way to stay more confident, engaged, and make sure that you get it done at your dealership, I highly encourage you to click the link in the description. There's an exclusive, limited, special offer for anyone that's looking to improve their sales skills. If you want to take the customer through the process from A to Z, know what questions to ask, what steps to take, how to overcome the objections, click the link in the description, because there's a program, How to Dominate at the Dealership, that takes you completely through the process. Not just the steps, but the psychology behind it. Not just the psychology, but the questions that you ask, the things that you say, the things that you do. It's all already done for you. There's also a digital sales training manual. You can download it straight to your phone. These audios and videos, you can listen to them through your Bluetooth right on your phone at your dealership. One guy, Stephon Bradley, he listened to the first audio right before he went out and greeted a customer, got a £3 deal, which means he made $3 grand on that deal. And it could do the same thing for you. As far as a lady named Ashley Timpson, and she's way out in Australia. She applied the social media steps, listening to 2 of the audios, and was able to book 5 appointments in 1 week using that, and sold 2 cars from it. So it'll work from you. You have the 100 success tips. That's 10 videos of the most positive success steps used by the power players in this industry. And so I don't want to go too long talking about it, but click the link in the description. Treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. If you are struggling, you don't have to be. It's by choice, because right now I just made available to you something that's being used by automotive salespeople all over the world, especially in this country, that is doubling and tripling their commissions, doubling up the sales totals that you're hitting every month. They're making more money than they ever have. And if you look at my Facebook pages or any of my social media outlets, you'll see my guys dominating and taking home awards for top salespeople, top commission earners, and it can be you too. So click the link in the description, go on over, check it out. Oh, and also an added bonus, when you get started, you'll have access to the weekly coaching sessions with me, where you and I lock in for an hour to help you capitalize on the business at your store. So click the link in the description, go on over, get started, and I look forward to seeing you at the dealership. Over and out. Yo.